Warnings of 100 miles an hour winds in parts of the UK as storm Éowyn moves in.
A red danger to life warning comes into force in Scotland and Northern Ireland, with people being urged to stay indoors. It's Friday, the 24th of January. Millions of people have been urged to stay at home today as storm Éowyn brings potentially life-threatening winds to the north and the west of UK.
Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland are set to experience the worst disruption, where the Met Office has issued red weather warnings, which means there is a danger to life from winds gusting at up to 100 miles an hour. Amber warnings are in place in northern England and North Wales. We're
going to take our viewers to Donegal, where we were hearing from our reporter a little earlier. You can see this is the harbour. Well, there you go. Rough seas, waves crashing over kind of the breakwater there, lighthouse in the background. And also, we've been talking to the RNLI today, standing by. You can see one of their boats, we believe, one of their boats there.
Yeah, that was Chris Cousins, wasn't it, from the RNLI, speaking to us earlier this morning. They're actually based in Chester, but the warnings, obviously, and you can see some of the water breaking over the front there, is to stay away because the waves are unpredictable when the winds are so high. Real concerns about people's safety.
Of course, please pay heed to the warnings that are being put out. There is a red alert, as Sarah said, being issued, and there are calls for people to stay indoors, particularly in Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland.
Now that it's light, we're able to see out to sea. We're just on the outskirts of the harbour, and I'm sure you can see behind me there. That wall's about 30 feet high, and the waves are very clearly clearing that and coming over by the lighthouse there. We have felt the wind grow steadily throughout our time here this morning. We're actually on an amber alert here, and the wind's thought to be in the region of 70, 80 miles an hour, possibly going to peak at around 90 miles an hour later on this morning. Amber means that there's going to be travel disruption, power outages, possible risk to life and property. We now know that there are hundreds of homes across Cumbria who are without power. Electricity North West says it has extra staff on standby to try and correct those as soon as possible. All trains across Cumbria have been cancelled today, and there are concerns that more people will take to the road as a result of that. People are being told if they have to drive, really only use main routes and don't take any side roads. You can tell why, because these gusts are so strong. They're going to be blowing debris around. We know that yesterday Cumberland Council said that was their big concern, debris flying through the air. Sorry, a bit of a gust there. We will be keeping an eye on this throughout the morning. We're near to the water, but a safe distance away, and the big warning from the RNLI is for people not to come here, get close to it and take a look. You know, the waves here are really, really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. To stay in the comfort of your home. You're seeing it here on Breakfast. That's close enough, I think. Alison, do take care. Alison Freeman there.
So there's plenty of advice there today. And, of course, as always, just check before you travel.
Yes, thank you very much, Mairead. Check before you travel is the word today. And just looking back at some of those images you saw a moment ago, this is Whitehaven. You really do get a sense of how, as the winds are growing, the seas too are getting bigger. And quite rightly, people are being warned by the RNLI this morning. Stay away from those coastal areas because it's very unpredictable. I know Sarah's watching on, looking at some of those images there. We are getting a sense, aren't we, of how these high winds can be properly risky for people and for properties as well.
It's the gusts as well, Sarah, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Those gusts of wind really strengthening, and even the sustained winds, so the average wind speeds have been up at around about 80 miles an hour across parts of the Republic of Ireland. Those gusts even stronger as well, and they're moving across Northern Ireland and into central and southern parts of Scotland. So that is where we have got the red warnings for the wind speeds in association with storm Éowyn. So Northern Ireland, Scotland, also the Isle of Man is under a red weather warning as well. And it's all down to how rapidly this storm's been intensifying. So you can see on the satellite image this huge swirl, a little bit like a scorpion's tail there. The winds in the centre of the storm and just to the southern flank of it are the strongest. We could have seen something called a sting jet that produces a very intense but small area of winds around 100 miles an hour. So the red warnings across Northern Ireland, and this one comes into force at 10 a.m. for central and southern Scotland, is where we could see the strongest of the winds, 100 mile per hour gusts possible. But across generally the northern half of the UK, large area under amber weather warning. So still really serious conditions here, 60 to 90 mile per hour gusts of wind.
People are taking these warnings very, very seriously, rightly so. What's the situation now? What should we expect?
Yes, well, good morning to you. The Met Office don't issue these red warnings very often. They don't issue them lightly. Some really dangerous conditions. Storm Éowyn has been rapidly strengthening. A really strong jet stream has been driving the development of this storm. So these are some of the gusts we've recorded just in the past hour or so, quite widely across parts of Wales, Northern Ireland too. It's gusting up to 80, 90 miles an hour. Macehead in the Republic of Ireland, we've seen a gust of 114 miles an hour already, and we're not yet at the peak of the wind. So that is the strongest gust ever recorded for the Republic of Ireland.
Good morning. Storm Éowyn brings strong winds and heavy rain. Now, the Met Office has a yellow weather warning in place for strong winds, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. The heavy rain this morning will actually clear away fairly quickly.